Welcome to the second part of 22 online speaking activities video. If you haven't watched the first part yet, please click here. Let's get to it. Mind maps. This is probably how you imagine a mind map, and you are correct. We can use this method with absolutely any target language. We often think that this activity is most suitable for adults, but now I'll show you how you could use it even with 6-year-olds and older. This activity has great advantage because you don't need much time to prepare for it. First, you elicit as much as you can from your student, and then you add more vocabulary to bring the input into your class. And after that, this mind map will serve as a great structure and base for a monologue. Let's take this mind map as an example. I can ask my student, could you please tell me how this particular aspect will influence all the other parts of our environment? And my student will be able to give me a better answer since she already has all the vocabulary in front of her. And here is another example of mind maps with a much younger student. Topic is talking about yourself. So first, I elicited as much as I could from the student, such as her name, where she was from, and then I asked even more questions to add the answers to the mind map. After that, she was able to produce a pretty long monologue telling everything she could about herself in English. Please take a look at the extract from her answer.
My name is Sophie. I'm 9 years old. I'm from China. I live in the apartment near the hospital. My favorite food is chicken.
Well, that was pretty impressive for a student who's been learning conversational English for just 2 months. And the fun tip. You can always make this activity more fun by adding pictures and drawings to the mind map. Here I started with a little cute picture of her. Also, I added all the clothes she was wearing at that time. And I also added ice cream as her favorite flavor. Even though you could even use this method with younger students who don't even read at all. You can just use pictures instead of words. And keep this activity in mind for those cases when you haven't got enough time to prepare a PPT or a proper lesson plan. Correct me if I'm wrong. With this activity, you can practice absolutely any target language, and you can use it with any age and level. You will say a statement as simple as, "I'm Bob," and your students will need to agree or disagree. For example, "No, you're not," and correct you. "You're Alex." And my statement was, if I have time, I'll play a video game. My students know me pretty well, so they disagreed, and they said, if you have time, you won't play a video game. And then they were able to correct me and say that, actually, if I had time, I would probably watch a movie. So this activity can also help you to get to know each other better. And the fun tip, you can trick them by giving some very interesting facts about yourself and making it difficult to correct those statements. Find 5 differences. This is another classic game. The obvious target language here is there is, there are, and I can. And you can still use this activity with higher levels because you can add lots of prepositional phrases and make pictures much more detailed and complicated with a lot of objects of higher level vocabulary. Another tip, you can play it as memory game where you will show 2 pictures to your students and then you will stop screen sharing. And then you will ask them to give all the differences they can still remember. A much better way to use this activity is to send 2 different pictures to 2 groups or 2 different students, and then ask them to discuss and find the differences without seeing the other player's picture. And you can go pretty crazy putting monsters, superheroes, and some really random objects in some random places. Lip reading. You can use this activity to review vocabulary, or simply practice phonic sounds. You can mute yourself and then say the word. For example, I will be moving closer and closer to the camera to make sure that my student can see how exactly I pronounce the word. And here I would even show the list of the vocabulary because these words are not that easy. Or you can just do this with sounds, like, and then your student will say, "Oh, it's ah." That's correct. This activity is also a great chance to show your students the difference between p, b, t, d, th, th, and other pairs of sounds. So after your student guessed the word, you can switch and play again. Play with the book. Here you will take your student's textbook and you will cover some objects in it. You can use this activity with any book that has got some picture. Encourage your students to speak in full sentences, starting with an opinion phrase, I think, I guess, then saying there is or there are, and adding the object that they think is hiding behind the shape. A fun tip, you can edit the actual picture in the book. Use PowerPoint or another piece of software to insert another random picture instead of the animal or the object in their actual. So here in the picture, for example, there is an obvious figure of a bear, and you could replace the bear's head with a person's head or another animal's. This way, students will not be able to cheat and just open their own books and check the answer. And of course, it's gonna make the lesson so much more fun. The next one, picture search. This one looks very simple and super obvious, and you can use it with all of your students. It is a great source of discussion. For example, after I introduced the word salad, my students said they didn't like it. I quickly went to the picture search engine and found a picture of mango salad. Once I showed it to them, they got really excited and actually changed their mind. They said that they wanted to eat that salad and they did like some salads. A couple of reminders, please make sure that your family filters are on, and also double check before you start sharing your screen, because you have no idea what pictures may pop up if you search for something innocent like a mother and a daughter. And the fun tip is change their mind. Like in my example, you can change it for better by showing some great example of the things that kids may not like. On the other hand, you can also show something pretty disgusting like bacon ice cream. Well, I'm sorry, you may like that flavor, but all of my students were pretty shocked and they said that actually there is some ice cream they don't want to try. Matching columns. This activity is usually used to practice some grammar structures, but it's also great for practicing speaking. I'll show you how to do that. First, try to personalize the columns, and for example, you can ask them, oh, give me some verbs. Give me the things you can do. Give me the things you have never done. Give me the things you can do. So here you're already getting some input from them. A fun tip is to add some words like kiss or something a little bit embarrassing for students. And then you can challenge them with bubbles. You can use the zoom feature or just add animation to your PowerPoint presentation and cover partially or completely some of the columns. That's when students will actually need to use their memory to produce a sentence. You will be hiding the columns one by one, and finally you will get your students just saying sentences on their own. Part 2 video summary. Here are the activities we have covered, and a couple more reminders. First, try to elicit as much as possible in every activity, and don't forget the language feedback lesson stage. If you're not sure what it is, or you would like to get more tips how to do it better, please watch the first part of this video. Thank you for watching. Please click the like button if you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you would like to see more videos for teachers, and look out for part 3 of this video with 7 more activities. Take care, bye.